Today we're going to make macaroni cheese, and here are the ingredients that we're going to need. The first ingredient is macaroni pasta. That will provide us with some starchy carbohydrates. Next, for the sauce, we use plain flour. That will also give us the starchy carbohydrate. We have margarine, which will provide us with fat. We have milk, which will provide us with protein, vitamin D and calcium. We have cheese, which will provide us with calcium and protein. And lastly, we have tomato, which will provide us with vitamin A and vitamin C. Is grating. To use the grater, we put the grater into the machine and close it, and then we place our cheese into the slot and then hold it firmly, always making sure that the holes go down. Then we're going to grate it onto our chopping board. Again, we're going to open it up, we're going to pop in the cheese, we're going to clamp it down, and we're going to hold it tight and grate. This will produce an even quality of grated cheese. To make an all-in-one sauce, we put the three main ingredients into the pan. We use margarine, we use flour, and we use milk. All these three ingredients go in together. We're then going to use a balloon whisk, and we are going to stir all three ingredients together until they dissolve. So we are looking for the margarine to melt, and we are looking for the flour to separate into separate granules. Now this method is known as the all-in-one method because all three ingredients are placed into the pan together at the same time. As the margarine starts to melt and the flour starts to get distributed between the liquid, what is happening now is the starch granules are starting to get warm. The starch granules come from the flour, and this helps thicken the sauce. As the starch granules warm up, they start to absorb the liquid and swell, and they get fatter and fatter. At about 60 degrees, they double in size. What we need to do is we need to bring it to the boil to reach the gelatinization stage. This is where the starch granules burst open and create a gel with the liquid, which thickens the sauce and creates our thickness to the sauce. It's really important to stir all the time because if you leave it, the starch granules will clump together and form a lumpy sauce. As you can see, the steam is starting to rise from the liquid, it's starting to evaporate, which indicates the liquid is getting hotter. Now remember, always hold onto your pan handle, always keep your pan handle above the bench for safety. And use your balloon whisk to gently stir. As it reaches a higher temperature, you'll start to see a nice, glossy, thick sauce being produced. The margarine adds flavour. The flour helps with the thickness. And here we are, just coming to gelatinization now. You can see that because the bubbles are starting to form. That indicates you're at boiling point and your sauce has thickened. We're going to continue to cook this for a couple of minutes so that we don't get that starchy flavour. After the sauce has thickened, after it has gelatinized, what you can see is you've got a nice, smooth, glossy sauce. At this time, we're going to add in our cheese. We're going to leave a little bit for the top. I'm going to add a pinch of pepper to help with seasoning. And then we're going to mix that cheese through until it melts. And that is our cheese sauce. Nice, smooth, glossy, shiny texture. A thickened sauce. And this is an all-in-one sauce. When draining pasta, it's really important to do it correctly. We use a colander and we place a colander in an empty sink. We keep our hands away from it. We then pour very gently into the colander, into the sink. That will drain it away safely. Nobody's hands should be near. We then put the pasta back into the pan again. To finish our dish, we add the pasta into the cheese sauce. And then gently stir it so that all the macaroni is covered. To finish the dish off, we're going to pour the macaroni into a dish. And we're going to top with the last little bit of grated cheese. Now this can be then toasted or it can be placed in the oven for a little bit longer until we'll get a nice golden brown topping. And there you have your macaroni cheese. For decoration on the top of our macaroni cheese, we can slice a tomato. This is called the claw grip. So we hold it in a claw, our fingers away, and then we're going to cut nice thin slices of the tomato. We can then place that on the top of our macaroni cheese.